What's up, people? It's me again, back at it. With fitness, I'm trying to get it as much as I can before I start working. I've been practicing for a test and finally passed, and congratulations to me on that. So I'm trying to get it as much exercise as I can, like I said. I've been starting off with dips for the past 15 weeks, and as you can see, I'm getting better, and that's all about consistency. And one thing I always say is all about form control and breathing. So I tried the GoPro with the wide angle, and then I learned about the POV, the point of view, and tried it to a medium, but I'm going to end up just keeping it wide angle all throughout after these videos, just so I could adjust the size and not be so cropped in. Went with shoulders today. I kind of did back and delts on this, and I added the pounds so that way you could just see it for yourself how I'm working up. I learned going through this, you can see me slide down on the seat, and I have my hands on the bars, the grips, and I fall into like a seated stretch, so that way instead of sitting down and trying to reach behind the bars, where I kind of struggle with it. If you've been working out for a while, I'm sure you understand. So it helps just fall right into it, and it helps just get right to it and push through. One of the things, as you see, I breathe, and I'm sure people hear me breathe, but I really don't care because it's my workout. So I breathe heavy just to make sure I'm getting oxygen all up in my lungs and push as far as I can. Sometimes my arms look like they lock out, and to be honest, maybe sometimes they do, but I do my best not to lock out my arms. There's always like a slight bend as much as possible. My break times, when I go up, the heavier I go, my break time increases. Instead of just keeping it like 30 seconds or 45 seconds, if you just have a set period, I would say try to give yourself a little bit more rest time and see how that helps. For me, it's helped out a lot, because one of the things that I tell people when I used to do kickboxing, being an instructor for it, is that when your lungs give out, there's no point of anything else trying, because really your lungs are the ones that are a key component along with your muscles. So make sure you have plenty of rest time, but not so much where you're falling into a cool down. So what goes up must come down, and that's why I've been working for now. Going back down to 180, just pushing through. When I go down, my break time actually decreases. So when I go up, I'm trying to go for that max of what I could do, and then I come down, but I keep it a lot faster just to kind of do a drop set. Not necessarily a superset, it's just a drop set. I'm working my way down and just pumping it out and trying to get that blood flowing back into my muscles again. And I'm working on shoulders here, which was good when I started out with dips. Even though it's triceps, it just loosens up my arms and upper body with the dips. So down to 160. And as you see, like I said, breathing is one of the biggest things. And I go to my very last push. And what you see here, one of my arms was uneven. And when I find that I do that, I don't keep going, because I'm gonna end up hurting something. So I just stop right there, and it's all about discipline. And then I drop weight and keep going. And even though I went down to 90 and it may look easy as not, I ended up doing 2 more sets of these, but I just showed you one of them. And I like to show most of my workouts rather than just clips, so you can see that I'm actually doing all of this. And like Mike Rashid said in one of his videos, if you don't record it, you never did it. But for the most part, you see me doing the weight and pushing through. And even though people may lift more, and there you go again. You see how I just got that one and my arms kind of came uneven? I just go to that point where it's only one. Here I'm doing the upright row, and I have the title up on the side with 60 pounds. And after working out my shoulders, I already feel it, and I'm just bringing it up as high as I can. I should probably go a little slower, but for me, my pace, this feels really good. I feel the really good pump up in my shoulders and up in my chest too. So I end up working with weights, working up nice and easy, nice to control. I get up to the 80s, and I feel like my wrists are getting really fatigued, so I end up dropping them after a second. So one of the things I would recommend people is get wrist wraps. Wrist wraps are really good. You could also get there's 2 types of wraps: the wrist, and then the ones where you could wrap around the bar itself, or weights, or any kind of bar, and it'll help minimize fatigueness in your hand, so that way you're not really holding it, you're just kind of you are holding it, but you're not gripping it so hard. So I ended up getting some after this video, and I'll show you some of the stuff I added to my workouts. Here with the 80s, like I said, I just go all the way up, try to hold it just for like a split second, and I wanted to stay at 80s. I felt like that was the highest I was going to go, so I did 80s again, but I didn't show it, and then just dropped down to 60, trying to get that pump in, and then I started doing presses for shoulders. And one of my upper body, I want definition in it, and the way to do it is just not necessarily beat it up, but just keep pushing through weight. Work the front and back of presses. I find that it's really good because I had the habit of just doing military presses in the front, and I find that doing rear is just a totally different animal, and it helps with the workout when you're all into it. Because one of my favorite things to do is dips, and that's my routine. I always bring in the little bars. You could adjust them to wide or close, almost shoulder width apart where I'm at now, and I come down, I stretch out my arms and my back, and then I come up, I make sure my arms drop down just to get blood back into them, and then I come up. And when I lift on the dips, I lift myself up off the bar rather than trying to set myself on the bar, if you could understand that. And it really helps my body know what I'm about to do. It's like a heads up rather than just like I lift myself on the bar and then I come down. It's really different. So I have my body kind of push off from the little steps and then come on. And then I push through to failure. Here I'm doing delts. This is my first time actually doing this machine. I haven't done delts in a long time, and with delts and shoulders and size for me, like I said in my legs, my last video, is that I pack on size. I get size really easily, but one of the things is definition, and I've noticed with shoulders, my upper part of my body, definition is starting to come in, but I'm not so focused on it. I'm just trying to work on getting all the equipment, form and control done right before I go heavier and heavier. It's good to lift heavier if you're going for size, but like I said, I naturally get bigger easy. I guess I'm just lucky that way, but it also shows when I'm not eating right. And looking at this video, I really do need a tan. I need to get out in the sun more often, get some vitamin D on me. And that's one of the things, when you weight exercise, you don't always have to just be in a gym. You could be outside, and later on I'll be showing some videos of where I run outside or go hiking and stuff like that, because it's really good to get outside the gym and do other forms of fitness exercises. So 40 may not seem like a lot, and after working out on shoulders with the press machine, and then the upright rows, and then going into military press with the easy bar, and then doing this, it was a totally different animal, and I loved it. So I stayed on it because I was just trying it out. First, it was meant to be for muscle confusion, but then I just ended up turning it out towards a workout. And I'm sure after this I go back to dips, just to get back on my arms. And again, it was just I just started going with what I feel. And you might have some days where it's just the plan that you have, where it's just say a chest day or arm day, and you just start feeling the weights and you just go for it. There's no routine. Make every workout your workout, but as long as you work on form and control. And like I said, this is one of my routines. I went up, I made a little flipped out at the beginning, but went all the way down, stretched out, lean forward, big deep breath, come back down. And as I'm coming down and up, I'm also breathing. Like I said, very important to breathe. Nice and steady. And sometimes I feel like I go up too fast and I lose control of what I'm working out on, and I just bring myself back down. If you can notice right there, it was like just a little slower, and it's not because of muscle failure, it's because I was going too fast. And when I caught control of it, rather than just going too fast, I slowed it down and it hit even harder. So this was a bad angle. I only showed it for a few seconds. I went up to 30 pounds and that was really tough. The cable press really hit my shoulders hard, and that area where I was at right there doing the cable rolls, everybody sees you, and my face was probably looking crazy. So ended up doing back after this. I felt really good upper body like pump from my chest, my shoulders, my delts, and I wanted to add to my back, so I just ended up going all out on my back and finishing with it. With these is the same thing. Because it's the back, ladies and gents, you do not need to extend your arms all the way out. If you do, you end up feeling it more in your biceps, which is good. It feels good to have a pump all over, but it doesn't just play with the extension of what you do. If you keep them tight, or if you extend all the way, it's okay, as long as you don't lock out your arms to where it pops. You can lock out your arms, just don't do it to where it's just popping at your elbows. You don't want to hyperextend anything or hurt yourself. So just don't make those arms pop out. You want control at all times. And as you can see my lips, I'm breathing, making sure I'm breathing every time. Um, I'm happy to look at this, to tell you the truth. Like, I was really bad. My upper body was horrible when I first started. I was really round, especially my back. And you want to learn how to posture and not have so much of that lump behind your neck. Back exercises is one of the things that's going to help you big times. I feel the pump. I'm going up to 155, and I think I go up higher, and I'm just squeezing. Just let it go and squeeze. And the slower you go, the harder it is. And sometimes you just want to try to go a little faster after it. Just keep getting that blood flow. Keep getting that squeeze. Make those muscles just work. 165, like I said, I was going up higher. Just pull back. And here was actually the machine's crying because I was going heavier and heavier, and it was just like just crying. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna kill this machine. So actually, I was killing myself because machines never get tired. They don't have any brains or anything. So I'm just going as hard as I can, making sure I have form and control at all times, and started dropping weight. And then again, it's just like a drop set in a way, but I'm getting all those nutrients back into my muscles, getting all that blood flow coming right back in, even more. And it's good just to keep going. If you say 12, say you go to a number and your number is 8 or whatever, just say 2 more, and then it's just like boom. You feel it. You want to push yourself to the limit to where it's like, hey, I knew I could do more. If you set yourself up with just a limit and that's all you're gonna do, and if you could do more, do more. So that way, the next time you come and exercise, you know what you're capable of doing, and you might just go up in weight when you start off. For me, I do that every once in a while. I'll start off heavier or I'll start off lighter, but as you know, different days you feel different. Some days you feel tighter, some days you feel great, some days you don't. So just go with what your body feels, and sometimes I wish I had a partner. I really wish I did, because I'll do a lot more free weights. It's really hard to get footage of me doing free weights because there's really no area for me to show it. So working out on back, right here is my lats again. I did them before in previous videos, and I love this exercise. Really good. What I do on this, I'm trying to find the range of motion to where I'm feeling in my lats, where I have like a minor stretch, just good enough to where it feels so good to where I'm gonna pull down, and then when I come down all the way to the bottom, I'm trying to find where the bottom is for me, where it feels the best, so that way I'm not all the way up, all the way down. And for everybody, it's going to be different, your range of motion, but you feel it in your lats. And what I do in my lats, I kind of keep them flared out like little cobras. Imagine a cobra, they kind of, when they're about to strike, the side of their neck comes out. So my lats, I call them little cobras because they are little. They're probably not even existent, but they're growing, and this has been helping me. One of them, along with the pull downs, and next week I'm going to start doing pull-ups, and I'm sure that's going to help even more. So as you see, my range of motion changes as I go up, and every time I grab it, I gotta find my footing, I gotta find everything, and I gotta bend at the back. I don't bend at the back, I bend at the waist, keeping my back straight. And I find that it's best just to keep my head in one place and focus on the dot or the bottom of the weight set or the machines, and just feel the weights out. You have to feel it work. Don't just go through the motions and not feel the muscles that you want to work on. You also feel it on the very bottom of your shoulders, and later on maybe I'll show some photos where there's little muscles coming out of my back, like little balls under my shoulder blades, and it's because of this too, and it's working along side by side with my lats. So I love this exercise. Like I said, y'all should try it if you haven't. Experiment with weights, but the form, control, and breathing is always key. Same thing with here, rest periods. The heavier I go, my break period increases at least by 10 to 15 seconds, unless you're just feeling it. Some days you want to be more disciplined than others. Some days you're just going to be like, I'm going for it, and go for it. But make sure you always have form and control. 100 pounds feels really good right here. I'm not sure if I went heavier or not. I'm trying to remember because I did this a few days ago, 2 days ago, and there you go. You could feel like, you could see where I'm pushing and my range of motion changes. The heavier you go, your range of motion is going to be different because it's different weight added to your lats and your pull and your shoulders all together. So, oh yeah, I did go up to 125, and I try to remember how much reps I do, so that way the next time that's my like my key number. I have to reach it or I have to improve from it. So you always want to maintain and improve. You never want to decrease or be less than what you were last time. So it's a good thing to do, especially when you run. If you run a mile like in 15 minutes, the next time you run it, you want to run it in 15 minutes or be less than 15 minutes. So always maintain and improve. And I got that from the military when I was in. So 75 pounds, I went down, I dropped weight pretty fast. And the reason for that, because I was gonna work on other stuff. And I didn't want to just burn myself out. I'm almost to failure, but I'm not. I just feel so good. It was like 75 pounds feels really good. And when you drop weight like that, just like biceps, you just feel that pump, and I feel it in my lats, and I'm honestly stoked about building on my lats. Is one thing I've always been weak on, and my legs. So I started working on back again, and this is one of the exercises that I rarely do, but I will more often, and it's the pec deck. And I started off with 50 pounds, and the reason why I started off with that, because every once in a while when I started off with it, 50 pounds felt really light, but after a really good push workout, weights just feel heavier than what they are. And my first set, it was just like, okay, I felt great, and that sudden stop that I just had right there, it just kicked in even harder. So I dropped weight from 50, I tried to do 50 again, I left it, and then I changed it down to 25, and that was it. My back was done, and I knew that was all the workout I was gonna give left. I didn't feel like doing anything else, and I felt really good about it. And one of the things when you work out, just feel good about what you do. And one of the things is knowing that you're being consistent, you're trying just to be better than what you were yesterday. And the key is form control, breathing, and consistency. And that's it, folks. If you learn anything from me, it's about form and control and breathing. And if you want to see more, you know what to do.